while we can't go in the Commandant's house, we can experience what this industrial era of New York was like, because every Saturday and Sunday, you can actually take a tour of the Brooklyn Navy Yard.
So to give you a sense, the Brooklyn Navy Yard operated as a naval shipbuilding facility from 1801 up until 1966. Think about all the wars that took place during that time period. You've got the War of 1812, the Mexican War, the Civil War, World War I, World War II, you have the Spanish-American War. The ships that went out to these wars, many of them were built here in the Brooklyn Navy Yard. And so it's almost mind-boggling once you start to explore the history, how much happened here and how many of these ships were built by the hands of people that lived here in Brooklyn and here in New York City.
One of the most famous ships built in the Navy Yard was the USS Arizona, which sunk during the attack on Pearl Harbor. Another famous ship built here was the USS Missouri. She witnessed the surrender of Japan, ending World War II. So what if we could go back in time? What was the Navy Yard like during the construction of these amazing vessels?
So we're standing right in front of what is dry docks 5 and 6. And these are dry docks where ships would be brought in for repair. And then starting in the late 1940s and onward, some of the ships were even built there. So we're talking aircraft carriers, landing platform docks, and during the heyday, during World War II, there would have been over 70,000 workers here in the Brooklyn Navy Yard. They constructed ships that were so massive that they were 2.5 football fields long. You had people in sub-assembly shops who would be welding small pieces of the deck of the Missouri, other people working as draftspeople in the drafting department. There were 175 tons of blueprint paper alone just for the USS Missouri. Wow. So if you think about the Brooklyn Navy Yard, during the 1940s, it operated as this massive factory, right? Even though you have factories throughout the site and they're constructing different parts of the ship, what a massive undertaking.
But before they could even build or repair ships here, they had to build Dry Dock 1, a true feat of engineering. But according to Urban Oyster, at the time it was considered to be a disaster because it cost over $2 million to build back in the 1840s.
The challenge they ran into as they were constructing Dry Dock 1 was that they were building on really marshy land. The Brooklyn Navy Yard sits on a bay, Wallabout Bay, and most of the land where ship construction and ship repair has taken place historically is built up on landfill. And so as they're constructing Dry Dock 1, the granite blocks just weren't staying in place. They were popping out, so then they had to rip out all the granite blocks. They developed the nation's first steam-powered Piledriver here in the Brooklyn Navy Yard, used that to drive down the oak pilings deep beneath the granite blocks so they could actually get the dry dock to stay in place.